Hello, Goddesses, and welcome to this week's Oracle message for week of 30th of July 2023. July is nearly over, August is upon us, and Tuesday, the 1st of August, is the full moon Oracle circle at 7:30 p.m. And that is why this week there's just one Oracle message for the week ahead, so we don't get too overwhelmed with too many messages for the week ahead, and then a detailed reading from the full moon. So we're going to have one message as our base message for the week, and I will be building on that when I do the full moon oracle reading on Tuesday. Now, the end of July marks a shift in vibrational frequency and the connected energies that's going on. So my reflection is I just don't feel to have got out of hibernation this year. I've been tired and significantly tired for some time, and that, as I've said, has been the universe, the divine feminine, asking us to rest before a shift, a seismic energetic shift that's coming in the autumn, where we start to do more, and it finishes in August with a super full moon where we're kind of visible to the world like we have never been before, to our communities, to our groups, and we take that energy forward into the autumn. So August is going to be a time of thinking about intentions, and we'll be focused on that in our development and new moon circle in the middle of August. So this week, it's what's becoming our usual and norm, where I will do my review of last week, invite you to do the same and have that reflection time. Then there'll be one message for the week ahead as the base and preparation for the full moon oracle reading on Tuesday. So if you want to find your comfortable place, get your cuppa, your notebook and your journal, we'll start with my review. So here's a reminder of last week's oracle messages. How do we stay soulful for the past week? The message was basics. I asked what are the conditions in the universe that we need to be aware of, and we had ego. And I asked what was the counterpoint to that, and it was quanta. And I also asked what individual and personal actions should we be taking this week, if any, and we had collaboration. So basics, ego, quanta, collaboration. If you want to stop now and do your own review before you listen to mine, feel free to pause here and make your own notes. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and share my weekly review with you. Starting with basics, when I sat down to review the week and review these messages, I actually made a list, which I don't often make lists these days. And I thought about the basics that I've been doing over the past week, and I cleared out the cupboard under my stairs, which had just been frustrating me for so long. And it was like, right, today's the time. And it feels so much better. It's still full, but it's full in an ordered way now. It's full where I know things are and I can reach the things that I need. It's full with my books, Reclaim Your Intuition, still waiting to be sold. It's full with the Oracle Guidebook now as well. And a new packs of the Oracle cards will be coming this week. So I had to make space to store these things. Not that I like storing them under the stairs, but there's this sense of, for basics, for me, the sense was that of orderliness. I've also been doing a lot more tidying than I would normally do, ironing and tidying clothes, putting things away in their spaces. So for me, the basics this week has been putting things in their places and spaces and creating space for myself as well. And also nighttime diffusing. I had lost my plug for a small diffuser I have for the bedroom, and when going to bed one night I spotted it. It was hiding under a chest of drawers. So for the past week, and probably a little bit longer before we got this message, I've had the nighttime diffuser on in the bedroom for a couple of hours before I go to bed, and it's a Neal's Yard essential oil for nighttime, and it helps me sleep. It brings a sense of calmness. So what basics has brought for me this week is this very strong sense of peacefulness, a better sense of order, a better sense of things in their places. And that's really helpful because I know there's something big coming from me. And by doing that tidying and creating that space and getting myself organised, I'm starting to allow that in. So that's how basics panned out for me. What did it do for you this week? Did you, attending to the basics is paying attention to self-care, like focusing on just cleaning your teeth. It's some of the tidying that I've done, but it's the basics of life that we had to pay attention to and not get caught up in the big things. And that has brought me peace this week. So what basics have shown up in your life this week? What's happened for you? And how has it made you feel, more importantly? So if you want to pause and make some notes for yourself there, do. I'm going to move on now to the messages. So what the conditions in the universe need to be aware of, it was about our own ego. We were being put on notice that don't worry about the conditions in the universe, worry about what's happening internally, and that the ego needed to be kept in check, for want of a better phrase. That we had to listen carefully to what was ego and what wasn't. And actually, the tidying and attending to the basics has helped me with my ego this week. So when I've been focused on, let's tidy, clear this space, let's organise, that appeals to something in my ego, and it stopped ego going off saying, who do you think you are, doing all these things, writing all these things. It stopped all of that going on. So that's been really helpful for me. So being aware of ego has been very helpful for me this week. And our counter flow, how do we counteract the ego? We had the unusual message of quanta, which was about, it's the plural of quantum, which is about how many. It's how many flowers are there in the world. And it's a metaphor or a simile, something like that, for how much money there is in the world. We don't know. So it's really a message about abundance. It's about amount, how much, and abundance. And the first place my ego often goes is, well, it's going to cost a lot of money to publish this or produce this or do this. And actually this week, the quantum message and the clearing and the tidying and the basics has stopped a lot of that going on in my head. At one time I was worried about, paying for getting the guidebooks printed for the Oracle, getting the cards done, then getting the boxes. And actually, it's all working out pretty well. Turns out the money was there, and that's another story I'll tell you about another time. And because we've done it one thing at a time, I've not had to pay everything up front, which makes the feeling of abundance much easier. And I'm at the point now where I'm starting to get the second one ready to be printed and published, and it will come from where it needs to come from. By me taking my share of abundance, I am not denying anyone else, and that's really been top of my thoughts this week. So what's your ego been like this week? Have you felt it? Have you been able to caress it and give it some love and harness it so it keeps quiet and you can listen to your voice? And what has your feeling of abundance been like this week? Because those two are very correlated. So take a few moments now for yourself and just think about how that's worked out for you. And the final message was collaboration. And, this was what individual and personal action should we take this week, if any? And I was thinking, well, I haven't really collaborated this week, but actually that's not true. In terms of my work, I'm working with a designer again on a new project. We're at the very early stages of, and we've had some communication around that this week, so I have that collaboration. And what it really brought home just before I started recording this for you was Reclaim Your Oracle feels like mine now. I've used it for quite a long time for myself now. I know it inside out and backwards, but each time every card gives me a different message to what the universe gave me to write in the guidebook. But yet the collaboration was with the designer on the images, and actually the collaboration with the person who's now doing the printing for me. We kind of don't think of it as a collaboration. I'm like, you're providing a service to me and I'm paying you. But actually it's a collaboration in terms of I say what I want, they tell me whether it can be done, they give me their ideas. And the next stage of that is getting the boxes. So we've met today in person. I said, I need to talk about this in person. I can't do this any other way. And we've talked about the boxes, what it's going to look like, etc. So I've had that collaboration. I can't think of any collaboration in my personal life at this point, and that's kind of what's top of my mind for me at the moment. But it could be collaboration with a group that you're involved in. something within your family that you're doing together with other family members. So just think for a moment about that. And when we look at the voices of these messages, we had belief, we had inner voice, and we had flow. And basics particularly has been very dominant for me this week. And what all of these messages have done is, from that place of tiredness where I've been, they've brought me back to peacefulness. They've brought me back to my beliefs, not that they were missing. My inner voice has been very strong, and peace always puts me back in flow. So that's my review of this week. I hope your review gives you some insights for you as well that help you understand more about you, your ego, and your intuition. Hello, goddesses, and here is our message for the week ahead, which makes me feel really excited. So before I share this with you, I want to tell you it's not just the message for this week ahead. It's not just the foundational message for the full moon oracle reading on Tuesday. It's something that's going to extend into the rest of the year. We're being put on notice of this. And that message is New World Movement, action, change, and integrity. Before I carry on and give you my interpretation and pass on the messages that I have from the universe, Divine Feminine, and the Earthly Matriarch, if you want to pause here and just make some notes for yourself based on what's come up for you when you saw this and what I said, you can stop the video now and feel free to do that. It's from the intuitive elements part of Reclaim Your Intuition Oracle. And intuitive elements about the macro things in our lives. It's the big things in life. It's not like the basics or the collaboration or the ego or those things that are just very directly personal to us. Although this is personal to us, it's about the bigger things going on in the world. So we've talked for some time now about the shift in the Divine Feminine. And if you're any doubt about it happening, flashing lights, this is the message that tells you it's happening. New World Movement. And as I've said before, and I'm sure you feel this as well, the shift in the Divine Feminine, the New World Movement, is not about standing up and screaming and shouting, because that's not what we do. It's about everything we do at grassroots level. It's the way we behave, it's the way we are with people, it's we role model not behaving as a victim during difficult times. It's how we trust our intuition, and we're not going to be put down and patronised anymore by saying, my feeling is, my gut feeling tells me, my instinct is, my intuition says. Let me just tune in to my inner voice and see what it has to say. We're not going to be put down for those things anymore. We're going to talk about these things where we feel comfortable. Some of us will be doing it in a much bolder way to a bigger audience than others. That's okay. It's not about you having to take this on as your purpose in life experience and sharing it with others as I'm doing. It's just about how you are in the world now, and living this intuitive life that promotes action, change, and integrity. The Divine Feminine supports everybody, regardless of how people identify the gender these days. The Divine Feminine is about changing the world, and we are at a turning point on the planet. There's no two ways about it. But the Divine Feminine tells us there's hope. And each of us, every day, tuning into our intuition, not responding in the way that people want us to. So if any of you are involved in any patriarchal groups or organisations, you may have worked with men or difficult people, women as well, that say something because they want to get a certain reaction out of you. They want to make you angry, or they want you to say a certain thing. And we don't do that anymore. We are graceful. We are graceful in our New World Movement. We are positive, and we are strong-minded while being compassionate at the same time. So I'm really excited for the messages that we're going to get for the Full Moon Oracle. And I think those messages are going to be more directly personally related to what each of us can do. But this is a call for a time for excitement. When everybody else is worrying about what the hell is happening, we book that trend and say, yeah, we know the world is tough out there. We know that, but we are strong in our beliefs. We are strong in our knowledge of what we want the world to be and how we want it to be. And we are being that way. And that brings other people with us on this journey. And that is powerful. That's a powerful way to be. We're not influencing. We're not influencers. We're not asking people to follow us. We're asking people to be with us and connect with us so that they can learn from us that there is a different way to be in this world, and our way of being can help make the change that the world needs. That is just fabulous. I hope no one is overwhelmed about this. I hope you feel the excitement of these seeds of change, and I hope you know that whatever it is each of us does, the universe is supporting us. And it's something really important that we need to do. And it just proves to me all the messages that have been coming through. It's reassurance, but all the messages that I've had from the universe, from the divine feminine, from spirit, whatever you want to call it, that our change and our time is coming. And when it does, we'll be ready, we'll be open, we'll be compassionate, we'll show love, we'll be firm but fair, we will show strength in our compassion. And people are going to start to stand up, look up, sit up, and take notice of this different way of being. I can't wait to read more on Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Bye.